Hey guys, Kodak Hannes here. Welcome back to the bench. So today I'm planning on building the circuit board for the controller for the cooling side of the laser cutter control system, which I described in the previous video. So if you remember, we have a pump which sends water out, goes through a whole bunch of stuff, water comes back in into a tank. So what we've got is a flow meter, temperature of the water coming out of the laser cutter, and a temperature sensor for the water going out into the laser cutter. So yeah, that's the setup, what we've got to do. And of course, what I'm after is a little control board which sits here, which pulls all this information in and then sends it out via the USB connection, which actually is where I'm getting power as well, out to the controller, which we'll talk about later. So what I've got is one of these pre-tinned prototype boards and a few connectors. So these are neat little screw terminals. Some of these header pins so I can solder my Nano onto this, wire all those together, and I've also got some resistors, 4.7K resistors, which I need to use to wire the temperature stuff up. Right, so what we've got is we have the temperature gauge, so let's say T in, T out, and the flow. Now, each of these has a positive and a negative and a signal. So the flow meter, if you remember watching the tutorial before, needs to have an interrupt. And if you look down here, these are the two interrupts. These are the two interrupts I have available. So I'm going to use D2 to read the flow. So the flow meter heads over to D2. This one, I'm going to go to D10. This one to D8. Why? No real reason other than they're there and there. So they're on the same side as D2, and there's a gap between them. So I've got a pin between them, so it's a little bit harder to solder bridge them across by accident. And then all the positives will be connected to the, where is it? On this side, plus 5 volt supply from the Nano, and there's a ground there and a ground there, which I'll tie the grounds together. And then the only last thing is, for each of these, there is a 4K7 resistor tied to the 5 volt rail. So they'll tie up to the positive rail that runs through each of these. So what I was thinking of doing for that, we'll get rid of this anti-static sheet down, of course. So I've got 3 of these because I could only find these in 2 pins. I was looking for 3-pin ones. I could only find 2. So I'm going to have one of those for 5 volts, one of those for the signals, and one of those for the grounds for the temperature sensors, and one of these little locking, I think they're called JST connectors, because on the end of the flow gauge, so this flow meter's over here, so that's one I used for the tutorial. It's slightly chunkier than the one I'm actually using on the actual cooling system. Same pinout, same working philosophy. And as you can see, we have positive, negative, or positive ground in the signal, and this just clips in, and then there's a positive lock in place that doesn't come off easily. This one's a little bit worn, this plug, but it gives a nice solid connection. So get a couple of these 4.7K or 4K7 resistors, and I've got some cable there. I've got some wire cutters. Let's go. First off, let's turn the old soldering iron on. Get that up and running. Sorry about the noise. Right, so solder I use is lead based because I've got absolute ton of it lying around. 0.38 mil, so it's really, really fine. I actually like having finer solder. Some people like the thicker stuff and feed it slower. I like putting it in, so I actually have a very fine control of how much solder I've done. And yeah, so we're up to temperature. Yep. An older soldering iron that's served me well over the years. Yep, that's hot. So first off, let's just put one of these on. Let's see, that way. Let's put it. Now let's see. We have the nano D pins facing the inputs. D2's at the top. D9 and 10 are at the 8 and 10 are at the bottom. So let's put these down the bottom. So that one goes there. Make sure that's in shot. Yep. And let's solder that up. Oh, these boards are rubbish. They're not taking that solder well. There we go. Come on. There we go. That's that one in and solid. Let's put signal up a bit. Actually, let's put the signal and the positive rails in. Ow, that's hot. Right, so that's all neat and tight. Come on. Put some pressure, get some heat, and feed the solder in. Okay, this one. Come on, the flow properly. There we go. Don't think the tinning on these boards. That's what I'm doing. Buy slightly cheaper boards. Tinning's not quite right. There we go. Oh, that's solid. Right. And let's put, right, so which way do we want this one? Because pinout has, I go that way, ground at the top, sorry, plus 5 volts at the top. That suits me well. Right. Solder this one up. One, come on, one. Yep. 2, 3. Right, done. How's that look? Looks fairly good to me. So the idea is that's going to be 5 volts, that's going to be signals, that's going to be ground. Then we have 5 volt signal and ground on those pins as well. So when that plugs in that way, excellent. Right, where do we want to put this? Put this over here, so there's plenty of room. 2 from the top, 1 from the bottom. That's straight run. It's not quite. Now I'm going to be putting tons of patch wires in, so it's not a problem. Let's just put it. Yeah, let's go that way around. Put it down. Oh, I need to put something underneath it to bulk it up a bit, stand it up. It's not normally suggested to use these things as soldering stands because it actually can damage the pins, but this one is an old one I've had for years and it's pretty knackered, so. All right. Get that out of the way. Get some soldering. Headbutting the camera. And stitch that one in. Ooh. That didn't hold at all. That's not good. Oh, so you didn't get any solder on there whatsoever. Oh, I got something there. Let's move it 1 pin over. Wow. Really moving around today. All right, put that on there. Let's get that out of the way. Put that one over there, just for a bit more support. And then, oh, wrong way around. There. Just sit. It's really loose. It's gonna be one of those days, is it? Let's just get it in, get it soldered down, and I'll tidy it up later. Right. Why are you being a right pain today? Okay, that's soldered now. Let's take this pin on. All right, that looks good. Pretty straight. Right, so if we solder that one there, solder it there. No, up one more. That's soldered there. And this one needs to go at line B, C, D, E. Line E. Line up there, up to E. That looks good. Stick it there for a bit of support. Let's get that soldered down. Yeah. Cool. Looks pretty good to me. So what we're going to do is, that sits there and there. Oh, right. This is there. Come on. Why aren't you sliding on today? There we go. Oh, that's a nice friction fit anyway. So that's what the board's going to look like. And then we turn it over, we'll do the soldering. So, excuse me for a second, I just adjust my headset. My magnifying glass has decided to become loose. Ow, there's half my hair gone. Right. So, D2, let's get a pen. So what we want is, that's D12, 11, 10. So that's 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. K14 is 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. So K14 is 10. So you come over here, K18, so 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. So that's 10, that's 8. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. K6 should be D2. K 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good to me. Then we come over the other side. That one is ground. Ground, and then 5 volts is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth one in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's your 5 volts. So what we've got to do is ground, 5 volts, D2, 8, 9. So what we now need to identify is, so I'm going to have that 5 volts, that, and that 5 volts. So let's link all those together. And this is where it gets messy, because I'm not really good at this sort of stuff. But I've got some red wire somewhere here. I have a trimmer. Right, how are we going to do this? Oops, let's make it a bit longer. So what I think I'll do is both those need to be 5 volts. So what I'll do is push it through here. If I push it over, let's go one over as well. Oops. Let's twist that all up. Yeah, if we go in here, solder that, and solder it over to those two, like that. So I've gone up and bent it in, so it's in between those two pins. And that should give me a reasonable. Oh, put my glasses in so I can see what I'm doing. Yep. So first off, let's solder the wire in place. Come on, take the solder. There we go. That's in place now. That's solid. Yep. Let's go over to those two. And then let's just, how are we going to do this? If I short a bit more like that, there we go. So the wire is now bridging those two 5-volt connections. Blob of solder on that end. Blob of solder there. Oh. That one. That one. Right, how are we looking? Messy, but that's a good solid connection. My aim is once I've got this up and running and working, I'll then probably create a proper PCB for it all. And so that's 5 volts there. So what I'm going to do is come up to here. And bring that one across. Actually, no, there makes sense, doesn't it? If I go there, put a wire. Yeah, that'll work. So what I'm thinking of doing is if I come about that long, I'm going to come to about there. This is called just jury rigging it till it works, basically. Which is not what I wanted to do. Yep, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. Yeah, that's scarpered that lot. Right, fine. Well, the good news is I still have got that lot all connected. Okay, let's make a bit more of a attempt to be semi-professional at this. That one. Let's see, from there to there is that long. There. Oh. Let's try there. Ah, this is not going quite as well as easy as I'd hoped. Never mind. This is what happens when you just record what you're doing for a hobby. You go in there. Come on. Right. If it's still in shot, yeah. So what we've got now is red wire. I can bridge across to those two. And one I can then take all the way to there. Now if I go above that, like that, I can then trim it off and hopefully we won't short. Right, that should be good. Right. So first off, let's tack that one down. Yep. Tack that down. Solder that there. Come on. Solder that there. Oh, you've decided to go that side all of a sudden. Messy, but it's solid. Just solder that lot all together. Come on. Yep. Serious jury rigging on this one, but never mind. Let's see, trim that off. What I'm going to do is once this is all finished and I've tested it and it works, I'm going to put a whole lot of lacquer on this lot to keep it all insulated and waterproof, or at least water resistant. So that one's connected. Those are connected. Yep. So that one's connected to there. That one's connected to there. So I just need to connect that to there. To 5 volts there. So 2 ways. Let's just jump up and over. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to go from here up and down. If we go from that one to about there, gives a bit of room. All right. So my plan is to go from 5 volts there. Nope. Stop springing out. 5 volts there. 5 volts. That one. Open over to. That'll reach first off. Let's actually solder the 5 volt pin. That'll be embarrassing trying to figure out why it wasn't working. Let's see. 5 volts. Yep, that's 5 volt pin soldered. And we'll solder it on the other side when we get there. I'm so going to have to build this again with a PCB. There goes that one. Over. It's like battleships. D5. 2. That one. That one. There. Right. If we move that way, that should be right. Fold that one over so we can, in effect, wire wrap it. And that one that way so we can just connect it in. So what I've done is I've laid the wires that way and that way. So when I solder these ones up, I'll solder the pin as well. So let's do this side first. So 5 volt pin soldered. Let's get the wire tight and over the pin. I've probably got hundreds of people screaming at me going, no, it's not the way you use these. Solder onto the wire. Make sure this joint is solid. Come on. There we go. Let's solder to the pin. Let's trim it flush. That is so looking wire wrapped. And then, I'm going to figure out where to put this camera because it's getting right in my way at the moment. Need to get one with a better zoom, I think. Okay, that looks reasonable. If I bend that up there, yeah, I should be able to solder that in easy enough. Right. Solder that bit. and solder that wire to there. Luckily none of this is high current, so trim that off. So now we should have connectivity from that pin, those two pins, and that pin. So let's get the trusty multimeter out. Is that on conductivity? Nope. Cool. Right, so 5-volt pin is that one. Let's check. 5-volt to there. Yep, 5-volt to that one. Yep. 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 None of the other ones. Yep, very good. So let's do the same jury rigging with the ground. So do you want to take the ground from there or there? Because there's two grounds on this. That one's probably, no, I've said I'm going to take that one. So we want to do the same with that pin, those two, and that. So let's start off with, let's go there, I think. Because if we push this one that way a bit. Oh, what's going on there? A little bit messy, but never mind. So if we go from that pin there to there, I'm going to need about that much. Worth about that much taken off each end. Stay tuned because this is going to go on for, I've got 3 of these to make up. And it goes there down to, come on. That one there. All right. And then it does the same. That one goes over into those, between those two pins. And that one goes onto that pin to the below it. Right. Let's try the one first. Solder. There you go. Thank you. Bit of solder onto that one. Come on. Yep. And then I'm just going to deliberately bridge those two pins together. Put the wire across. There we go. And that one's soldered up. And then the other side. Solder that. And then solder it to that pin. Right, that's connected. That one's connected. Those two are all connected. That looks good to me. Yep. Right, so now I need to get a wire from there across to that one. So from there to there, add a bit more. Add a bit more. All right. And then we go from, let's go from that pin to, oh, come on. Always one strand wanting to be annoying. Right. From that one all the way over to Now we want that one there. That one. Oh, I cut it too short. No. Oh, really? Oh, you're going to be one of these ones, eh? That one's fine. One strand, longer than the rest for some reason. Right, let's try that again. Actually, let's take it from this one here, then we can make sure it's easy. From there to there. Well, it's a bit high, a bit long. How about how about we go reverse? Come on. From there all the way over to there. You are going to be very annoying, aren't you? From there all the way over to okay, I'm getting very cross now. You are getting very annoying. Right, I'm going to solder one end in. That'll serve you right. Let's put it in there. Come over and solder it into that cable like I did before. I had some of these which actually had nice power rails. So it was doing these power stuff was quite a bit easier. Right. Solder in. That's that one. Solder on. Yep. That's it all soldered up. Trim off the bits. Right, that looks soldered solid. Right, you in. Now it's a problem I haven't. Okay, I haven't soldered that ground pin. Let's do that now. That's the ground pin soldered. And let's put that down before I stick it in something I shouldn't do. And that's the ground pin, and we'll do the same as before. Solder there, fold the wire over, and solder it all up. Solder the pin, done. Solder the wire. Wow, that's really soaked up the solder. Yep. And then fold the wire over to connect to the pin. There we go. And there. If we put it right there, that's right on top of the pin. That looks good. Solder that in place. In place. Yep. Not the greatest solder, but never mind. As I said, it's all for a prototype. So that goes to there, that goes to there, they're all in. Let's get the trusty multimeter back out. Let's make sure. Yeah. Right, so ground is there. That should be there. Yep. Yep. Nope. 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 Yep. That's right. Ground's done. Hey. So I'll push those out of the way. So what we now need to do is D2, D8, and D10. So first off, let's solder up D10. One. D8. And what will be D2? Let's see if I got any side. Ooh. What is that? Oh, it's a bit of. Oops. Let's have a look at that. Excuse me for a second. D2, D8. They look reasonable. Right. Now we need to figure out what we're going to do underneath. So we need two of these, which I thought I pulled off before, but I can't seem to find. So we'll get some new ones. So I need to take that one to D2, which is there. Actually, I don't need those for that one. So D2 is just a straight jump wire from there to there. Okay, let's go orange for that. Oh. Da-da-da-dee. And that. From there to there. A bit more. Take it off. Right. Okay, right. So that goes in that one. And then that one goes into that one. That's a bit better. Right. Let's have a look at that. So, standard trick. That one goes over onto that one. First off, let's solder the wire down so it doesn't move. Yeah. Let's get that. Don't start doing this. Right. You need to come across and get fully onto that one. Thank you. Let me trim you all off. Solder in there. Yep. That looks pretty hideous, but it should work. Oh. Come on. Always one voice wire that. Right. So that's trimmed, that's soldered. Let's get you lot into D2. D2. Right. First off, let's wire that pin. Pin wired. Let's get the wire over there. Get the wire wired, wire soldered. And then let's wire get that two together. Oh, not quite touching. That's better. Okay, that looks like that's pretty good contact. That ain't going anywhere. Let's trim that off. Yeah. fine. Now I just need to wire those two to their respective wires, and then from those two up to a 5-volt supply for the pull-up resistors. So what we could do is, there's the 5 volts there. If I was to put that one there, actually, if I come up and over there, if I go from there to there, yeah, that'll work. So if I go there to, it's going to just bend out, around, and down. We do that there. Oh, a bit less of a bend. I do that one there, and then right beside it do the same thing. Yeah, so that bends a bit further out and down. To there. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Oh, don't you start doing that. Right, there we go. 1, 2. Then if I bend that way, then bend that one that way, that'll get both of them to the 5-volt supply. Then they're in different pins. Right, let's get the pull-up resistors sorted. And as I'm sure you can tell, but I'm just making this up on the fly, getting it to work. That one goes there. That's soldered in. Reminder, it's hot. And then we can solder the end into that connection. Yep. Right, so that's your pull-up resistors with 5 volts running down to these pins. What we can do here is we need to jumper those to there while, how are we going to do that? Actually, I have these. So these offcuts of old resistor legs. I wonder, always keep them hanging around. I solder that one to the top there, and that one to the bottom there. That's keeping reasonable separation. Right, so let's trim that to the right length. So there to there. Yeah. I said I'm not doing anything high voltage, so these are only running 5 volts, so I don't have to worry about separations or spark gaps or anything like that. If I did, I'd have to be a lot more careful. Come on. Come on. There we go. Not going anywhere. Yep. Just do one on the other side. Harder on that. It's almost like a buzz bar type thing. Yeah. Don't know what these are from. They're fairly hefty. How's that for a guess? Yep, that's good to me. If we put on an angle, at least then it'll keep it forced down. Solder. Fine. You do that then. I'll just have to pull you up manually. There we go. Look, there you go. Fine. Look, there you go. You're in the right place now. See? Haha. You're getting there anyway. Right. Pressure down to get that in the right place. Bit of solder. Let's have a look at that one. Okay. That's pretty good. Well, it's workable. I can work with it. That's the main thing. Right. And then D8 and 10. So let's get the orange back out. And E. So let's see. D8. Or just give it a bit of extra width. 2 identical sizes, I reckon. Oh, close enough. 1. There. Yeah, as I said, I will be doing another tutorial on KiCad, however you want to pronounce it, setting up a circuit board for these. Once I've got a design in mind, it's all finished, I'll just throw them off to a manufacturer, get them made. So I reckon if I put that one there, and then go to D8, and then that one there, D, D10. Okay, that looks plausible. Yeah, so I'm going to get these built up, get them working, get them tested, and then if they work, I'll just throw the whole lot over to, I don't know, JCB PCB or something like that, get them made, and then I'll do another series actually populating the boards. That's done. Come on. It's the only problem with thin stuff. It works really well. It does exactly what I want, but if it starts bending, it just becomes a pain. Come on. There we go. Cool. That's done. Right. Let's solder the wires. One. Two. Bend it over. Yep. Yep. Right. Make those connections. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be trying to do this for a densely populated board with lots and lots and lots of components. What was that? Oh, it's probably my multimeter telling me I've left it sitting there. Yeah. There you go. I've turned it off. Stop moaning. Right, so that's that one done. That's that one done. It looks solid. Yeah, not shorting either side. That's all right. No, this one's going to get done to that one. That one's going to get soldered to that wire, that base. And then I think we are done. Yeah. And then I'll probably stop the video at that point, and then next time I'll wire it up and we can start getting the software written for this lot. Yeah, that's done. That's solid. That's solid. Oh, nice little bead of solder there. Right. Trim off that one. That one. Right. That looks all right to me. So. There you go. You can see that. All right. So what we're going to do now is D10. So that's D10. Nope. Nope. Yes. Yes. No. And then we should get a. And then D8 would be no, 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 yes, no, no. None of those. Good. And D2 should be that one. Yep. Not those. Or any of those. And then we should get resistance, is it? Yep. 4.7K between there and there. Close enough. And there and there. And then we should get roughly, what's that, 4.789, 9.4. Close enough. So that's basically it's going up, across, round, and bridged across those two. Cool. So that looks like that's built. No shorts, nothing too hideous. Well, hideous wiring. So what I shall do now is wander over to my box of chemicals. Find my clear circuit board lacquer. Right. So what this stuff is, it's just a nice. I find it very useful because it stops getting any it stops moisture and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bead of it across there, a bit across there. And this will just stop if I get any moisture or anything like that into the joints, it'll just stop them. So they're all soldered. Turn over. Yep, and then just put a little bit around these. It'll just stop any potential shorts in case these get wet, because they are going to be running in a relatively close proximity to water. So that should just stop any water. Cool. Let that dry, which takes a few minutes. And we are good. Put the lid back on. Oh, that stuff stinks, but it works. So there you go, guys. That's the circuit board for the control board for the cooling system. So what I shall do is once everything's dried up, I'm going to wire that into the laser cutter, which is over there, and then plug it into our computer. And hopefully we should then being able to start detecting the water flow and the input output temperatures. Yeah, I don't have pressure sensors on this. I did look at getting some pressure sensors to see how much water pressure is building up, and they're hideously expensive. So the idea is if this works, going to print a circuit board up for it and do a proper design job, get it all working. And then once the laser cutter is running, laser cutter case for it, wooden case or probably acrylic actually. Acrylic case it up, seal it off, waterproof it, and go with that. So hopefully you found that interesting. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. If you have any suggestions, or, well, I'm sure you've got plenty of comments of how badly some of my soldering is, but never mind. Please feel free to make them. But yeah, hopefully you found that enjoying. It's always nice to get out and start building stuff. Been a long time. I've been trying to build this for the last 6 months, just never got time. So, but yeah, so that's all working. I'm going to get that wired up now, and I shall catch you guys on the next one. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.